Hey, what's up, bro? Hope you're doing great. Today, we've got something special to talk about. Insurgency Sandstorm just got a brand new update, and it's a big one. Update 1.26, or if you're on PlayStation, you'll see it as version 1.013. This is the one everyone's been waiting for because it doesn't just bring a few fixes or tweaks. It's loaded with new features, fresh weapons, limited time modes, customization upgrades, and even a new progression system that finally gives you more reasons to keep playing beyond the usual grind. So yeah, there's a lot to unpack here, and I'm going to walk you through everything that's changed, what's good, what's bad, and what's just plain wild. Let's start with one of the biggest and most exciting things they've added, the challenge system. Now, this is something players have been wanting for years. If you've been playing Sandstorm for a while, you know the game is absolutely amazing in terms of gameplay mechanics, gunplay, and realism, but it's never really had a proper structure that keeps you coming back for more daily goals. That's exactly what the challenges system fixes. You've got daily, weekly, and static challenges now, all accessible through the stats menu under challenges. The cool part is you can track them while you play official matches. So as you progress, you'll see your goals updating in real time. These challenges can range from simple things like getting a certain number of kills with a specific weapon to more strategic tasks like capturing objectives or surviving for a set amount of rounds. And the best part, completing them gives you new rewards, XP, and customization options. It's a small touch, but it finally gives you that extra sense of progression that Sandstorm's been missing. Now let's talk about the real meat of the update, the new weapons. Bro, this is where it gets fun. Both sides, security and insurgents, get brand new semi-automatic shotguns. For security, it's the S12K, and for the insurgents, it's the US12. These are absolute beasts in close quarters. If you love storming buildings or holding choke points, these are your new best friends. The S12K feels smooth, responsive, and powerful, while the US12 gives that rough, raw feeling you'd expect from the insurgent side. The devs have done an incredible job balancing these so they don't feel overpowered. They've got a bit of recoil, some noticeable spread, and you'll need to pick your moments to reload. But when you get it right, you can clear a hallway in seconds. I tried both in the training range, and man, they just shred through enemies like butter. Speaking of the training range, there's another cool addition they've made that's worth mentioning, the skin tryout system. This one's actually kind of brilliant. Before this update, you couldn't preview premium weapon skins unless you bought them, which was kind of annoying. Now, you can test them out directly at the training range before you spend your credits. It's such a small quality of life improvement, but it really helps you decide what you want. You can try different looks, switch between skins, and see how they feel with your loadout. It's all about giving players more freedom, and that's something I think the game needed badly. Now, we can't skip the Halloween content, right? Every year, Sandstorm drops a spooky event, and this time, they've gone all out with a limited time mode called Chad Team 666. Yeah, that's right. This one's wild. It's a Halloween-themed mode where you and your squad take on waves of zombified enemies. You're basically part of this special Spec Ops team facing a demonic outbreak. The atmosphere is dark, chaotic, and packed with intense action. It's one of those modes where you can tell the devs just had fun making it. The enemies don't behave like regular insurgents, they rush you in hordes, making it a completely different kind of pressure. It's a nice break from the traditional tactical pacing Sandstorm is known for, but it still feels grounded in the same gritty, realistic tone. Alongside all that gameplay content, this update brings a massive amount of new customization options. You've got new patches to equip, a bunch of new camo patterns like MM14 Pixel and Night Raven, and more color options for gear and armor. The customization has been expanded in such a way that feels like you can really personalize your character to fit your style now. They've also introduced a new face scar section, which adds even more detail to your operator's look. So if you like going for that battle-hardened aesthetic, now you can really sell it. There are also new tattoos, so you can make your character feel unique on both factions. It's a small thing, but the more options they give players to express themselves, the more invested people feel in their operators. Of course, this wouldn't be a Sandstorm update without some premium DLC. They've added 2 new cosmetic sets, Climber for security and Vandal for insurgents. Both are pretty slick. Climber gives off this high-altitude tactical vibe with mountaineering gear, while Vandal has a grittier urban look, almost like an outlaw mercenary. On top of that, there are new weapon skin sets called Wheat and Dragon Skin. The Wheat skin has this clean desert look with lighter tones, while Dragon Skin is more flashy, almost iridescent, and really stands out in the right lighting. As always, these are totally optional, so if you're not into premium cosmetics, you're not missing out on any gameplay advantages. Now let's get into the part that matters most for players who've been around for a while, the fixes and improvements. This patch is packed with them, and honestly, it's one of the more thorough updates the game has seen in a long time. A lot of long-standing issues have finally been addressed. They fixed multiple visual bugs like invisible or missing weapon parts, incorrect textures, and issues with night vision goggles and optics being too bright or glitchy. There were also animation problems with bipods and weapon transitions that have been smoothed out, so your reloads and equipment swaps feel cleaner and more natural. Gameplay-wise, there's been a lot of balancing and refinement. Some weapons like the H21 and M250 had delays or timing issues that caused inconsistencies in firefights. Those have been fixed. They also addressed a glitch with the Ace 52 that let players abuse magazine exploits, so that's gone too. The destruction system for caches was also updated to make sure objectives behave more reliably during co-op and PvP matches. It's clear the devs went through community feedback carefully this time, and that's really showing in how the game feels after the update. Stability has also seen improvements. The patch includes several crash fixes, both general and map-specific. You know those random moments where the game would crash mid-match or during loading screens? Yeah, those should be a lot less frequent now. The performance on both consoles and PC feels smoother, especially during intense firefights where explosions and particle effects used to cause frame drops. Map-wise, this update did a full sweep across almost all major maps. Farmhouse, Forest, Crossing, Last Light, Tideway, Citadel, Summit, and Ministry all received fixes for exploits and out-of-bounds issues. These are the kind of bugs that competitive players especially hate, like being able to clip into geometry or hold unfair sightlines. Those have been patched out. Some maps also got subtle lighting and texture tweaks to improve visibility and immersion. It's not a full visual overhaul, but you can definitely tell things look cleaner and more consistent across the board. One thing I really appreciate about this update is how it balances new content with meaningful quality improvements. Sometimes you'll see games throw in flashy features, but skip fixing the stuff that really impacts gameplay. That's not the case here. You've got the new challenges, giving long-term motivation, the new weapons, shaking up loadouts, fun seasonal content, and a ton of bug fixes that actually make the core experience better. It's clear that the team behind Sandstorm is still committed to refining the game even years after its launch, which is honestly impressive for a title that's been around since 2018. And bro, let's talk about how all this feels when you actually jump into a match now. The pacing still hits that perfect balance between realism and intensity. When you're pushing an objective and the S12K is in your hands, you feel unstoppable in close quarters. The sound design is still top tier, with that heavy punch every time you fire. Combine that with the new cosmetic options, and your operator just feels fresh again. The challenges give you little goals in the background, so even when you're playing casually, there's always something to work toward. Now, if we're being honest, no update is perfect. Some players have already mentioned minor bugs with the new shotguns, mostly related to reload animations or audio syncing, but that's pretty minor and will likely get patched quickly. There are also a few balance discussions happening in the community about whether the US12 might be slightly stronger in some situations due to how its recoil pattern works, but again, nothing game-breaking. Overall though, this update just feels like a win. It breathes new life into Insurgency Sandstorm without losing what makes the game special. The realism is still there, the tactical gameplay still demands teamwork and patience, but there's now more structure, more reasons to keep coming back, and more style to how you play. If you've taken a break from the game, now's a perfect time to return. You'll notice the difference right away, not just in how it plays, but also in how it feels to progress and experiment with your loadouts.